getting some mobility through here and some rotation, just so when you swing a club, you don't feel so stiff, and not being able to get out and play the game that you love to play. So today I actually want to share with you some key things you can use to help improve your golf performance in part 2 of this series. Hi, I'm Dr. Matt Bradbury, Family Corrective Chiropractor, and this is One Life Family Chiropractic. We're located in Georgetown, Ontario, Canada, and we love looking after families and people who want to perform and function at their best. So today we're actually going to dive into golf, and this is going to be part 2 of our series where I'm actually going to touch on 4 or 5 things that are really important in terms of things that you can be proactive with to help perform better and potentially decrease the likelihood of injury, and some things that you should just consider making a part of your routine so you can move at your best, keep up with your kids, your grandkids down the road that much better. So today we're actually going to be focusing on getting you moving better through here, strengthening your shoulders and your upper back, working on some rotation, and finally loosening up your hips. Now, the interesting part is, as you train yourself, remember, you want your shoulders to move really well and you want your hips to move really well. And most of the time you want some stiffness through your low back, your mid back, but this is what really transfers force from the lower to the upper. And now today specifically, we're going to focus on getting some mobility through here and some rotation, just so when you swing a club, you don't feel so stiff, especially if you spend your 35 hours a week like this, plus or minus a few. And remember, 35 hours a week like this, compounded 48 to 50 weeks a year, is a lot of time practicing this. So it's going to take a little bit of work in terms of practice to do some things that are the opposite, strengthening your muscles and just getting you moving better overall. So remember, your hips as well as your shoulders have to move well, and we have to find a simple way to help strengthen our shoulders. I'm going to give you one of my favorite exercises for training the upper body. I use it as a warm-up as well as some conditioning for those shoulders to help keep them strong and a base of support, especially if I'm doing pressing movements, overhead or bench press. And this is going to carry over into helping you stay strong for your golf game. I'm also going to share with you how to get some extension, increase some rotation, imitate you swinging a club. And then finally, I'm going to share with you my one last favorite hip stretch. And I feel the hips are just that important. I know we talked about it in the first video, but the hips are very important because they get stiff. And if you don't move well at your hips, you're probably going to compensate in your low back. And therefore, you're more likely and more prone to breakdown, potential injury, and not being able to get out and play the game that you love to play. The first thing I'm going to show you is actually taking a foam roller just like this. And what I want you to do, I mean, it's a great tool. This is actually just an piece of ABS pipe with hockey tape around it. But what you can do for yourself is actually just go grab yourself a foam roller at a local sporting goods store. And it's a great way to start. Keep it by your desk, keep it by your couch, and you're going to spend at least 30 seconds to a minute of it working on it every single day. So you'll see here what I've done is I've got the foam roller in my mid-back region. This is the area where you're often hunched forward and you're working at your desk all day. So I want you to start by doing the opposite. And all you're gonna do is spend 30 to 60 seconds, just like this. And starting with less, if you're just starting, start with just 30 seconds. You can do thumbs up, just like this. And notice I do the letter Y with my thumbs up. 30 seconds, breathing. And as you advance it, move up a little more. You can spend 30 seconds there if you want, or you can take the more advanced version, give yourself a bear hug and roll up and down with my feet flat on the ground. And remember, as you move through this range of motion, you may hear some popping noises. That's nothing to be concerned about. Simply your joints going through a range of motion. The air bubbles release, which is often, the noise is often the air bubbles releasing from the fluid being, or the air being in the joint rather. And so spend some time like that. As you progress, you heard me say it, start with 30 seconds, but as you progress, you may spend 1 to 2 minutes rolling out just like that. You'll see here I have a dowel on this next one, and what you're gonna do is just place it at the top of your shoulders like this. Now you can imagine this as your golf club. And what I want you to do is turn to the right. Now you can pause when you turn and rotate. You can hang out there 20 seconds. What I like to do is a little contract, relax. So I'll actually go back to the opposite side. I'll hold myself down here for 5 seconds. 1 and 2. And then I'll come back and I'll loosen up the other way for 20 seconds. You're gonna repeat that 3 times. And when you're doing this 3 times, really focus on getting to the end range. And when you contract for 5 seconds, come back a bit. You're almost neutral. And then you're reaching around, and you will likely notice an increased range of motion. I will do all 3 sets on one side before I progress to the opposite side. And that's a really great way to use your club, increasing that thoracic spine rotation, trunk rotation, to get you in a better position when you transfer that force and go to swing. Now, another variation of something you can use with a dowel is actually just if you have your club here, just reach up, open yourself up. And this is a great way, as I come up like this and I alternate, this is a great way to start loosening up your shoulders for the next movement I'm gonna show you, which is gonna be actually some strength work on that upper back. But again, getting your shoulders into positions. You can pause at the end. You can do to the side, up to the top, and to the opposite side. And you can do that as 1 repetition across all 3 positions, and do that 6 times. And work your way back over, finding some areas where your shoulders are tight. And when you're doing it, you're breathing, you can pause for 5 to 10 seconds at the end if you like, and feel those end ranges. Keeping something like this in your golf bag would be incredibly useful. In the first video, we talked about the forearms. This video, I'm actually gonna talk about the shoulders and the upper back. And so something like this, you can keep it in your golf bag, or you can keep it beside your couch or at your desk. But what I'm actually gonna have you do is do some upper back activation work and get used to using some of the posterior muscles more, so that you don't feel as if they're turned off from doing this all day. What you're gonna do is, my variation on the band pull apart is actually turning your palms out like this, so your palms are up, shoulders down and back, just like this, and now pull the band across your chest. And when you're doing it, you're gonna work in the 12 to 20 rep range. So start with 2 sets of 12, a couple of weeks working like this, and then you can progress to 2 sets of 15, 2 sets of 20. Again, great as a warm-up when you're about to go swing your club, or great if you're just putting together yourself a routine so that you can perform that much better and be proactive about strengthening your joints, putting them through a full range of motion, and performing at your best when it comes to your golf game. So if you're sitting down right now, one real ideal position to get into is find some end ranges on your hip. And as I was saying at the beginning, if you help your hips rotate better and move more freely, it'll often help decrease the compensation and improve the way you move with your swing. So what I like to do is bring the lower portion of my leg on the seat, the bench, the couch, the edge of your chair, and I'm gonna give a little bit of pressure down on my knee, and I'm gonna lean forward. You are likely gonna feel this in your glutes. Keep yourself tall, and you wanna focus just on leaning forward at the hip. And I'll show you what it looks like from the other side as well. So you're upright, pressure down here. You can give a little bit of pressure upwards to the ceiling on your ankle side, and lean forward. And you're going to notice your glutes are probably tight and stiff. When you're hanging out here, I want you to spend 60 to 90 seconds per side. As you wrap up today, remember some of the important key things that we talked about, and I want you to consider something else is really important, and that's your spine and your nervous system. And as your family corrective chiropractor, I'll see a lot of people where they may notice down here, or this area may be talking to them, and oftentimes they're not even aware of their hips not working properly or moving properly, and they're not aware of the compensation above and below in their spine and nervous system, which often occurs when you're stuck through here. So you may be experiencing pain here, but when I'm assessing and checking for any shifts in the spine and or any nerve irritation, oftentimes above and below there's challenges which may impact how you heal and how you function. Where do all your function come from? Well, you got your brain sending messages all the way through your spine, your spinal cord, to your muscles, your organs, all the important things. And the main thing we're looking for as a family corrective chiropractor is where these nerves may be irritated and the spine may not be moving properly. So consider the health of this. I've seen many people who love golf, weekend golfers, people who do golf even more than that, improve performance. Think about all your hand-eye coordination. All the information travels through your nervous system to help your body work at its best and you perform at your best. So consider the health of this as well. As you finish up today, remember, you have to practice things and be consistent. If you're golfing a few times a week or just enjoying it on the weekends, set yourself with a little warm-up. Today we focused on getting the shoulders moving better, some thoracic spine extension using the foam roller, as well as using the dowel with the golf club for some added rotation and some shoulder mobility. And then finally, one of my favorite go-to hip stretches to help open you up and move that hip that much better. So consider those, consider being consistent, and don't say it didn't work for you if you try it just once or twice, okay? Remember, compound this over time, over 60, over 90 days. Pick 2 to 4 things and do them really well for the golf season and watch what happens in terms of your mobility and your strength. Anyways, I will leave you with that today. And of course, if you enjoyed it, my only ask is I simply can't do it alone. I got a big mission in terms of people understanding their health, in the sense they have to function better for more health, and their spine and nervous system is vitally important. And I know you probably know a golfer out there who could benefit from this. So my only ask is please take a moment to click share. If you haven't already subscribed, please make sure you subscribe so you get our great content coming to your feed, and share this on your feed or share it with a golfer you know could benefit as well and help him or her improve their game. Otherwise, I'll talk to you soon. Have yourself a great day. Bye for now.